Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Jørgensen, and I'm here in the role of emerging entrepreneur. I'm here because I love to create change, I embrace change, and I love emerging ideas. I hope that some of the ideas that I will bring to you today, you'll bring with you into your jobs or to your lives in general. 2 years ago, I embarked on a journey as an entrepreneur within EdTech. So over the last few years, I have visited hundreds of schools, met thousands of students, a lot of teachers, a lot of administrative staff, and those people have given me a lot of ideas, but also a lot of challenges. That's why I propose the following question. Are higher education about to get extinct? Could it go under? Well, here's my co-founder, Mathias. He's 19 years old. He's a programmer. He's self-taught, and he's a dropout. Matthias, he's empowered by the tools he has. He has this on him every time he goes out. In his East Pack, he has MacBook, so he can code wherever he is. He's empowered by the tools, the hardware he has on him. Matthias is connected all the time, 24/7, he's connected. He accesses social media just like you, Facebook, LinkedIn, and whatnot. But more importantly, he accesses peer-to-peer learning platforms such as Stack Overflow, where he can share knowledge with peers and experts. That's the way he learns. Lastly, Matthias is a creator. Matthias creates websites that you as consumers access. He gives you great experiences through beautiful code, nice UX, a nice interface. He gives you good experiences. He's a creator. And Matthias is not very different from a new generation emerging. A new generation of empowered, connected creators. And this is the generation that I focus on. So this new generation emerging, what has driven this change in mindset, and what has driven them to be how they are today? I think there are 3 major trends who have shaped their mindset. The first being hyperconnectivity. The fact that Matthias is connected all the time, that changes the mindset. The fact that he has access to hardware and the tools in his pocket gives him access to connections all the time. Right now, around 9 billion devices connects you to the internet worldwide. In 2020, it will be over 24 billion. That's 3 times the amount of people living on Earth. That creates a difference. That means that people are connected. People can connect to other peers or other experts. Secondly, critical mass. We've seen that many platforms has gained a lot of users. So when a lot of users come on, that's an example that something is working. People are adapting to new ways of learning. Here is a slide of 2 of the biggest websites. It's 2 graphs that shows how many users has adapted to these technologies. It's from earlier this year. On the one hand side, you have Duolingo, which is a learning platform with more than 30 million users today. The graph is a bit old. On the other hand side, you have Coursera, which is the platform that aggregates courses from institutions all around the world. In Denmark, KU, CBS, and DTU are already on that platform. The graph shows that the Western Hemisphere has adapted to this. This is a global phenomenon. Thirdly, we're creating content more than ever. People are creators or co-creators of content, both online and offline. This illustrates how much data is shared in an internet minute. More than 600,000 gigabytes are shared every minute. If one human being should watch all the video footage shared in 1 second, it would take that person 5 years to do so. So this change in the mindset of this new generation, it poses a challenge for educational institutions. Because if I can learn online, why should I go into an institution and learn there? So there's changes to be made. The first thing that institutions should do, in my mind, is to move beyond content. Content can be accessed online. Information is available. Earlier, the noble task of mediating things were enough. It is no longer enough. I visited the US a few months back. I visited New York and I visited San Francisco. And both in New York and San Francisco, I met with some MBA students. Students who have paid a lot of money to attend schools like Columbia and Stanford. And I asked them the question, why do you pay so much money for education when it's available online? Because I'm an edtech entrepreneur and I wanted to hear. It's really smart people. And they said, well, it's not because we have some of the best educators in the world. It's not. It's not because of the brand name, because I could easily get another job. Some of the people I was talking to had sold companies for more than 2 million. So why do you do it? Well, I do it because of the network. Because at Stanford, I can tap into a network of like-minded peers, really, really smart people that want to go somewhere. Creators and change makers. So institutions in the future have to focus on other things beyond content. They have to focus on themselves as a cultural institution. They have to focus on the people attending the schools. Secondly, institutions have to embrace technology. They shouldn't consider it a threat. They should rather consider it as an opportunity. Some schools are already beginning to do so. I mentioned that CBS and DTU and KU are already having courses on Coursera. They're just a few schools. Other schools like Harvard, Yale, Princeton are also doing it. CBS started their social entrepreneurship course in September 2014. It's just a few months back. More than 29,000 students attended or started the course. So they're attending that class online. More than 193 nations are attending that class. It's 3 times the amount of full-time students attending CBS. That is an example of how an institution can go out to a big audience. But more importantly, it's also, for CBS, it's a way of doing marketing. So they can give you a taster of how it's like to study CBS before you study there. So this technology that is emerging and the schools are starting to use is actually a competitive advantage. And you can use it as an opportunity rather than a threat. Thirdly, you need to apply more practical teaching. It's still a problem the way that students are being taught today. There's huge opportunities to gain from implementing, let's say, 3D printers in your way of teaching. Educators are already beginning to do so. And if you implement 3D printing, you can, in your math class, make students build bicycles, for example. I would love to build a bicycle. My math teacher didn't exactly propose that challenge for me. So it's really, really important that we embrace the technology and we apply more practical way of learning. Because students are going out in the real world and they have to face real problems. And it's really, really important that we embrace that. Fourthly, we have to remove the silos. We have a big political debate right now in Denmark about how the educational system should be. One of the things that we're not talking about is how we remove silo thinking. And by silo thinking, I mean that we consider work within the boundaries of an institution, a program, a faculty, or a course. We have to think more holistically about the school system. Today, I was studying at CBS, and I was very limited in my elective. I wanted to do totally other things than study finance and marketing yet again at another school. I wanted to do something totally different. But I couldn't do that because I was limited in my electives. I couldn't get the ECTS point I wanted. Why not? Why shouldn't a person who wants to go to Novo Nordisk studying at CBS be able to study biomedical engineering at DTU? It should be more flexible. And the schools of tomorrow need to remove the silos and be more flexible. Fifth and lastly, we need to be more customizable in our way of thinking. Like the way you think when you buy music. You go to your iTunes and you buy your music. You buy not an entire album, but you buy single songs. Why couldn't we think of education as being like that? Being like App Store or being like a Pandora jewelry, where you can buy single items so you get what you want. People are different. Like this shirt I'm wearing, it's a large, but it wouldn't fit everybody. So we need to create educations that fits single human beings and not mass produce. So you saw the video of Sir Ken Robinson just previously, right? And he was talking about a revolution rather than an evolution. I think he's right, but I think we would have a very hard time getting politicians on board of that. I think institutions wouldn't agree to that as well. I think rather it's about adapting. I wrote, innovate or die, adapt or die. He would say, we have to innovate the hell out of it. And rather, we have to adapt to this new emerging generation. It's not new things I'm telling here on stage. It's things that you could have read in articles in the 60s, in the 70s. People have said it a lot of times. We need to adapt to this generation for once and for all. And the enabler is technology. Embracing technology and thereby embracing this new generation. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.